Okay. Hello, hello. Check, check one. All right. So, what's going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Welcome back to another edition of our Monday night online open mic presented by the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series here in El Paso, Texas. EP. My name is Richie David Marrufo. I'll be your host and MC tonight, and this is as usual, our Monday night mic held online. Thanks to the nature of the internet, we're able to have people join us from all over the country, all over the world. And so, if you are tuning in, if you're somehow already here in the live stream, I'd like to say hello, let us know you're here. And if you're just tuning in at some point, if you're just watching the replay, well, also welcome. Thanks for tuning in as always. In case you're not here at the live stream, then just leave a comment. Hopefully you guys are having a good week whichever week you're in, wherever part of the year, because I know that these are videos on demand once we're done with the live stream. Anyway, yeah, like I said, we're based out of El Paso, Texas. We do have events all throughout the week that you can attend, not only online, but in person. Every Tuesday, we're downtown El Paso. So tomorrow, May 26th, you can find us at Mona Bar of Modern Art. That is kind of one of our late shows. Sign up starts at 8 p.m. The show starts after 9 p.m. It's always kind of a fun time. That one is our most open of the open mics. So any kind of genre. For typically, though, we usually get a lot of music and a lot of poetry. We don't really get a whole lot of comedians coming out, but every now and then we'll also get some dancers. So if you guys have some sort of creative act, come on through. Sign up starts at 8. Mona's a chill bar there on San Antonio Street, right next to the legendary Tap Bar and Restaurant. So if you're ever free, come on down and hang out with us. Wednesday is for the writers, and in particular, craft. This Wednesday will be at Writers Night at Proof and Press. That's going to be right there in the Kern Place area, right by UTEP. Proof and Press serves some excellent drinks, some cocktails, and they have a spring menu. And of course, we are coming hot off a really great end of year celebration / birthday party / graduation party for our host Candace. She'll be at the helm once again. Starting with a writing workshop around 7, followed by a writer's open mic after 9. So if you guys are interested in coming out for either of those things, keep that in mind. The workshop, we do want to keep it open to 18 plus. And then once it gets a little later, the open mic would be 21 plus. If you do want to sign up for the open mic, we have officially opened the list starting at 7. So we're just kind of doing it now. People sign up as they show up. We used to do a whole big thing where after the workshop, we would officially open up and people would run and form a giant line, which is kind of cool, but maybe also dangerous and more stressful than it needs to be. So yeah, we're just kind of doing this thing now where you show up, you sign up as you show up. That's Wednesday. And of course, Thursday is the last Thursday of the month. If you didn't know, now you know. That means our last Thursday open mic at Old Sheepdog Brewery will be going down. Where we will be, I don't know. I'm always hoping for a nice outside patio setup, but if the weather isn't agreeing with us, if it's windy, if it's going to be a little rainy, then you'll most likely find us inside in the tap room area, the bar room area. But that's always hosted by Kit, so always looking for that. That one sign up starts at 7. And then we try and start after 8, around 8:15 or so, 8:20. Just depends on what the list is looking like. So again, if you want to perform early, then make sure you are there early. All right. Other than that, those are announcements. Make sure to follow us online. You can find our website, Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. It's BWOMS.com, the acronym BWOMS, BWOMS.com. Of course, you can also just type that into any social media. And if you see our page, give us a follow, and we'll follow you back. And then we post weekly events, we post flyers, we post all sorts of other content. Hope to see you guys there. And of course, we have plenty of room on the list. If you guys are interested in joining us today, there's a link to sign up in the description of the video. I'll make sure it checks right now. But again, if you are here and you're tuning in, make sure to say hello in the chat. We love having you here. I'll give you shout outs throughout the mic. It is a pretty light list today, so let's kind of get into it. We're going to kick things off in Denver, a little bit north of here, our friends up north, where we have Michael Sindler to kick off the show. Michael Sindler, rocking the hat as always. Nice to see you back at home, and when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, hey everybody. Hey Richie. Yeah, it's great to be home, let me tell you. I want to right up front put out the word for lighthousewriters.org, especially with Lit Fest coming up second week of next month, and there's just a whole lot of great virtual and hybrid things for people to check out. Um, I, I grew up in the Southeast, and one of the great national forests that, of course, all our national forests are in danger now, but one of the great ones I used to go camp in a lot was Joyce Kilmer, and it was named that after the poet Joyce Kilmer, who's best known for trees. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree, and ends with poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. But Joyce Kilmer wrote a lot of his stuff while he was fighting in World War One, and he died in World War One. So I thought I would read one of his pieces, Rouge Bouquet. In a wood they call the Rouge Bouquet, there is a new-made grave today, built by never a spade nor pick, yet covered with earth 10 meters thick. There lie many fighting men, dead in their youthful prime, never to laugh nor love again, nor taste the summertime. For death came flying through the air and stopped his flight at the dugout stair, touched his prey and left them there, clay to clay. He hid their bodies stealthily in the soil of the land they fought to free and fled away now over the grave abrupt and clear. 3 volleys ring, and perhaps their brave young spirits hear the bugle sing. Go to sleep, go to sleep. Slumber well where the shell screamed and fell. Let your rifles rest on the muddy floor. You will not need them anymore. Danger's past. Now at last, go to sleep. There is on earth no worthier grave to hold the bodies of the brave than this place of pain and pride, where they nobly fought and nobly died. Never fear, but in the skies saints and angels stand, smiling with their holy eyes on this new come band. St. Michael's sword darts through the air and touches the aureole on his hair, and sees them land saluting there, his stalwart sons, and Patrick, Bridget, Columkeel, rejoice that in veins of warriors still the gale's blood runs, and up to heaven's doorway floats from the wood called Rouge Bouquet, a delicate cloud of bugle notes that softly say, farewell. Farewell, comrades true, born anew, peace to you, and your memory shine like the morning star, brave and dear. Shield us here. Farewell. And uh, I was noting in the news that to me just never been a greater figure in jazz, period. Um, and then Sonny Rollins. And he passed away today. And so I wanted to read this by Billy Collins called Man Listening to Disc. This is not bad. Ambling along 44th Street with Sonny Rollins for company, This music flowing through the soft calipers of these earphones, as if you were right beside me on this clear day in March, the pavement sparkling with sunlight, pigeons fluttering off the curb, nodding over a profusion of breadcrumbs. In fact, I would say my delight at being suffused with phrases from his saxophone, some like honey, some like vinegar, is surpassed only by my gratitude to Tommy Porter for taking the time to join us on this breezy afternoon with his most unwieldy bass, and to the esteemed Arthur Taylor, who is somehow managing to navigate this crowd with his cumbersome drums, and I bow deeply to Thelonious Monk for figuring out a way to motorize or whatever his huge piano so he could be with us today. This music is loud yet so confidential. I cannot help feeling even more like the center of the universe than usual as I walk along to a rapid little version of The Way You Look Tonight. And all I can say to my fellow pedestrians, to the woman in the white sweater, the man in the tan raincoat and the heavy glasses, who mistake themselves for the center of the universe, all I can say is, watch your step. Because the five of us, instruments and all, are about to angle over to the south side of the street and then, in our own tightly knit way, turn the corner at 6th Avenue. And if any of you are curious about where this aggregation, this whole battery powered crew is headed, let us just say that the real center of the universe, the only true point of view, is full of hope that he, the hub of the cosmos, with his hair blown sideways, will eventually make it all the way downtown. Okay, thank you all very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael, and thanks for that tribute. Yeah, RIP Sonny Rollins. All right, let's keep this thing going. We're going to stick around in the Colorado area. We're going to go to Littleton, where we have David Latif up next on the mic. David, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Hey.
Awesome. Thanks, bud. I'm gonna read some trans poems because the trans community has been going through a series of losses this past few weeks, and it's been rough. And I feel like that is the community that I need to memorialize most this Memorial Day, given that I am part of it. So I'm gonna read some poems about transness. This first one's some new shit. It's called I Don't Like First Impressions. I went to the new venue, a venue I don't particularly like, where the open mics are going to be held regularly 2 weeks from now. Turns out it was comedy night, but I walked into a Kava and Kratom bar, a place for hippies who had their weed gentrified by legalization. A man looked at me and said, "Welcome in, man." And I get it. I don't exactly look like the height of non-binary androgyny, but like, this is why I have trust issues, because people will take one look at you and start filling out their imagined character sheet before you've even said anything. And now you have to do the painstaking work of editing it for them, hoping that they used pencil. Yes, I look like this. No, it doesn't mean I do that. Yes, I like cars. No, I don't give a shit about your Mustang. Yes, I have a male name. No, that doesn't make me a man. I just know too many Alexes that trying to go by my middle name would just make everything difficult, and I'm already trying to make things easy for you. I stayed for about 5 minutes, didn't order anything, hardly talked to anyone, left, and got pizza instead. This next one is called We Can't Go to Kansas Anymore. I am trapped on an island, landlocked just west of the center of this mess we called a country. Kansas just put every single trans person under an effective house arrest. Every driver's license under a changed gender marker has been invalidated in less than a day. If you've been anywhere in Kansas, you'll know that, like the rest of North America, you can't exactly walk everywhere or anywhere. So with Utah to the west and Wyoming to the north, my only safe neighbor is New Mexico. There's an ADHD conference in Austin, and while Austin is safe, I'd have to go through the rest of Texas or the TSA to get there. The backscatter X-ray scanner at airports look for odd shapes on bodies, the kind of odd shapes that trans people are full of. TSA pre-check allows you to skip the security theater and go through a simple metal detector. It also costs money. And a background check, the kind of background check that may have opinions on name changes and its continued existence seems to be up in the air. And that isn't to mention the bathrooms. Trans folks have been compiling maps of every gender neutral or single occupant bathroom on the planet because if you can't use bathrooms in public, you can't exist in public. At least not for very long. All of these new crimes would put us in prisons that are allowed to take away our life-saving medications in an attempt to cure us by killing us. It's a genocide, same as last time. It's a rerun, and all of you are seemingly as unaware as the last time it happened, willing to appease and look away. We don't have that luxury. This next one is called Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but he's trans and has a cigarette hanging from his lips. I remember hearing the phrase, "it gets better," so damn often. I really wanted to believe it's true the same way I tried to keep believing in Jesus after I knew it was a lie, but at this point, I really don't know if it does get better. I wanted to believe in happy endings for everyone, but there's a point where you realize not everyone gets one. Almost no one gets one. So when you were a sad-ass kid, only for it to go downhill from there, but I was nostalgic for 3rd grade and 7th grade. I feel like my happiest moments passed me by the same way affordable housing did. If it got better, I wouldn't have panic attacks anytime I have to interact with anyone remotely considered normal. If it got better, I'd be incredibly clear that I'm incredibly queer. I'd have a proper coming out rather than putting they them shit on everything I own and hoping people will notice. I'd have the bravery to correct people when they say he and him and his, words that feel like rusty nails dragging on my soul, but I am afraid. And partially for good reason, because judgment can be lethal, not always, but like Trans Day of Remembrance exists for a reason. Especially now, when the closet door can function as a shield at least a little bit. A thin tower shield that your landlord bought on a budget. I mean, it may not be able to stop bullets or even fists, but it might slow them down a little bit. So when you say it gets better and I peek outside the closet door to see how better has been trending in the negative direction, well, forgive me if, like Thomas, I have some doubts. I'm going to finish with one last one from my Posing collection. It is up on Flickr. I still have a bunch that still need to be digitized. This one is called Skill Issue. I am going to start responding to every transphobe the way Dark Souls players respond to everything. Get good. Because I honestly believe that transphobia is a skill issue. They, them is confusing and I don't get it. Singular they, them has existed in the English language longer than the word you. And most of my friends don't have a problem. You're just bad at English. Get good. But I'm so used to using he and him and his. Yeah, and the boss changes its attack pattern in phase 2. Learn the new attack pattern. Get good. But you can't actually change your gender. Gender swap coffin. It's on the Dark Souls 2 wiki. My friend's sister's boyfriend made a Dark Souls character based on me. Went to the gender swap coffin and never changed me back. Dude knew before I did. Get good. I can't stop being trans, but you can pick up a book, make some trans friends, and stop being a dumbass. Get good. Thank you. Thank you, Richie. You can follow me on Substack at Poetic Universal Friend. I have a book on Amazon. I want to try getting it in other places because Amazon is an evil corporation. Be kind to people, especially your trans friends if you've got them. Make some trans friends if you don't got them, because we need some friends right now. Shit's rough, and thank you, Richie, for being the friend of trans people. Thank you all for being the friend of trans people. It means a lot to us. Thank you.
All right. I was so emotional, I forgot to unmute. Thank you for sharing those pieces. All right. Okay. Looks like Doc isn't here. Hold on. Let me double check. Doesn't look like it. All right. In that case, we'll be moving along to our friend in Greenfield, Massachusetts, who's got some poetry and a cappella song. It's once again time for Storm. So, Storm, if I cut you off guard, now you have a chance to get ready. When you are ready, go ahead and take it away. Hello.
Okay. Yeah, I was waiting for Doc. Okay. So I'm going to start out with a couple of poems that aren't mine. I'm putting on my global warming hat. You can see the earth burning on it. But this is mainly a Memorial Day piece. So I'm going to start with Edwin Markham. He drew a circle to shut us out, heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle that closed him in. And following that up with Robert Bly from Naked Poetry, a great book. And this is called Counting Small-Boned Bodies. Let's count the bodies over again. If we could only make the bodies smaller, the size of skulls, we could make a whole plain white with skulls in the moonlight. If we could only make the bodies smaller, maybe we could get a whole year's kill in front of us on a desk. If we could only make the bodies smaller, we could fit a body into a finger ring for a keepsake forever. After taps. I dream of the war wounded and missing in actions. See guns strewn like dandelions. Hear the cries of the unaided. Their own makeshift bandages will kill them. I am searching for my brother, his father-in-law, his mother's brother. Have you seen them? Their eyes shattered like exploded hand grenades. Their hands moving as rapidly as cartridge belts firing, even when their bodies are still. Tonight I feel their gangrene legs stretching to climb under my skin. Buddhist monk, 1960s. He left the distraction of dollars and war by the roadside, bathed all his hair in gasoline, and became a star too bright for even the most apolitical astronomer to miss. Hero. In a sea of beer and gin, he goes off to war again, dodging bullets, bayonet, knife. He saved his general's life, was decorated and adored, and returned to an awaiting horde. His luck has left, his medal is pawned, yet he trades its worth from dusk to dawn. For a drink and a smoke he sells his glory, expanding upon his heroic story. So says he, now you can see this drunken fool ain't really me. Warworks. The poet sees stars, glowing orange balls, falling to their deaths thousands of years ago. But in your hometown, they'll add you to the others, and when it's economical or after the war, put a bronze star on your memorial, your name upon a plaque of honor in alphabetical order with all the rest. Tracer bullets. There's a grave on the hillside, well kept and neatly shorn. There's a grave on the hillside where a woman comes
to mourn. Timothy was the name of the man who used to be, till he caught a bullet wrong in the land across the sea. 69 was the year when Timothy was called up. They toasted his conscription with a drink from a loving cup. 70 was the year when he went to the front line. He wrote her lots of letters, was careful all the time. There's a grave on the hillside, well kept and neatly shorn. There's a grave on the hillside where a woman comes to mourn. 71 was when the wrong bullets found their mark. While he scouted the jungle, his troops shot him in the dark. 72 was when they brought the hero home with a medal on his chest and slow death in his bones. There's a grave on the hillside, well kept and neatly shorn. There's a grave on the hillside where a woman comes to mourn. 73 was when Timothy finally died. Since his suffering was over, hardly a person cried. 74 was when we finally left that war. 58,000 American men had died, and it shattered millions more. There's a grave on the hillside, well kept and neatly shorn. There's a grave on the hillside where a woman comes to mourn. There's a grave on the hillside, well kept and neatly shorn. There's a grave on the hillside where a woman comes to mourn.
All right. Thank you, Storm. I want to give a shout out to your projects.
Yep. And especially with People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and Struggle, the summer gathering is coming up. If you are somewhere on the East Coast or you want to take a plane and get to Groton, Massachusetts, the next weekend, the 29th through 31st of May, it will be in the physical. But the reason I'm mentioning it here is because parts of it, as well as events specifically only for on Zoom, will be happening at the same time. So you can register for either on Zoom or you can get there in the physical. And the way to find out more information is peoplesmusic.org. And we're a 48-year-old organization with over 320 members. Okay, Daily Antidote of Song continues. We're about to be at 2,250 shows, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 12 noon Eastern on Zoom. And just Google Daily Antidote of Song and you'll find us. A performer comes from somewhere in the world and sings a song in some language and gets interviewed. Lasts about 30 minutes.
God, thank you. Thanks for sharing. And I want to give a shout out to new peeps joining the list. Glad you guys are here. And also shout out to everyone watching on YouTube. Hey, Ruben. Again, if you guys are tuning in, just say hello. Hit the There's never late, we always have the video on demand, so you can rewind and go catch performances that you missed. But we're going to keep moving along, and next up on the mic, we're going to come back to El Paso for our next several performers. Right now we have Ed K. Gonzalez Jedi on the mic, and I want to just point out, got the shirt. Look at that. I'm wearing it this time. All right, so Ed, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, hello everybody. Wanted to say happy Monday. And the shirt right here, I think you can check the link tree and you should be able to get them from there. There's different colors, pretty awesome. I have a couple of different colors myself. I just wanted to bring attention to something else too, something that I've really been getting into, which is the Sun City Pickers. You can look on just about every platform, and if you got some time, check the dates and check the locations. And I had a great time. I always have a good time. I know it's cleaning, but I mean the community there is really great, really great. And I think the last time they were on the east side, they had a burrito truck, so everybody got burritos and snacks. And if you want to do that, but I mean, it's better just to clean El Paso up. With that being said, I've got a few, thanks to the calamity and this assistance of my younger grandson, tipping over my bookshelf and scattering my papers everywhere. I was able to recover something too, an old Tumblewords entitled Breakfast. This is actually a Tumblewords from 9/13/25 by the great Michael Sindler. So, that being said, it starts with a quote. The two most important days in your life are the days you were born and the day you find out why. Mark Twain. Now, generally, I am partaking with intermittent fasting, followed my morning meditation with liquid IV, lemon, when I really wake up around 5 a.m. to sit in contemplation, but then I usually pass out. On weekends, I get up to cook my grandchildren the eggs and potatoes and bacon, and as they would say, no sausage. The youngest would say. And in my youth, during the week, I would share stories of the regular cornflakes with sliced bananas. There's no variations, no substitutions. My mom would always say, "This is not a democracy," in her El Paso accent, or rush and still hungry flour tortillas with real butter rolled on weekends. When my dad was around, he would make French toast. Or we would walk across the street and gather nopal so he can mix with omelets. And that was one from 2025. Within the scattered paperwork, I found some from 2020. This one's entitled Calamity of Senses. Grab your pillow, fluff it well. The feeling of clean sheets and pillowcases. Hearing the purr of the ceiling fan, drowning out the options being offered and discussed by our brains, which are cast in gray clouds. Heart racing, high BP hour. Within 30 seconds, our minds are trying to slam on the brakes so regular breathing could take place. And as a reminder to be calm and be happy and allow breathing to flow, as will everything flow and everything else, including my gratitude. Be happy. It is our choice. I choose to be happy. All right. And this one was the last one of mine, was actually about this Saturday. I was sort of at a loss of things to do. So I decided to get up early and get started. Sans Tumblewords, and that's just the truth. That's not an indictment of any sort. This one's entitled Present Productive. I got up early to join the Sun City Pickers event and the 9:15 Desert Rescue to remove illegally dumped items and trash. And I attend every time the group meets on the east side. Following that, I went to central El Paso to drop something off at my son's place, but first stopping off at my favorite bookstore, Brave Books. I spoke to Judd, just tapping my card on the card reader, when I got a pocket tug. I said, "Oh, that was a good one." I turned around and Judd was looking at me and smiling. He said, "This place is haunted." I said, I said, "I don't feel bad. Obviously, it was a good spirit, or maybe somebody I brought with me." He said, "Good spirits here. And sometimes I get a tap on the head or the shoulders. We are not alone. This was a very productive day. Huzzah!" Okay, I have a couple covers. I'm going to get right to them. And this is another one of those that come with a little picture. And this was entitled "Letting Go" by Jimmy Osborne. We must let go of those hurtful things that burn and hiss and bite and sting, that hurt the heart and clip our wings, where we can't fly and we can't sing. I think it's time to turn the page, to turn to the light and quiet the rage. Forgive the slights we cannot change and spread our wings to escape this cage. Jimmy Osborne. This one is entitled "Coping" by Audre Lorde. It has rained for 5 days running. The world is a round puddle of sunless water where small things are only beginning to cope. A young boy in my garden is bailing water out from the flower patch. When I asked him why, he tells me the young seeds have not seen the sun, forget, and drown easily. Audre Lorde. Okay, this last one usually reads pretty quick, but it's been over 2 or 3 weeks since I had read this, and I'm going to be reading it again. It is by one of my favorite writers, the Professor Neil Peart, and my favorite song entitled "Losing It." The dancer slows her frantic pace in pain and desperation, her aching limbs and downcast face aglow with perspiration. Stiff as a wire, lungs on fire with just the briefest pause. Flooding through her memories, echoes of old applause. As she limps across the floor and closes her bedroom door, the writer stares at glassy eyes, defies the empty page. His beard is white, his face is lined and streaked with tears of rage. 30 years ago, how the words would flow with passion and precision. But now his mind is dark and dulled by sickness and indecision. And he stares out the kitchen door where the sun will shine no more. Some are born to move the world and live their fantasies. Most of us just dream about the things we'd like to be. Sadder still to watch it die than ever have to have known it. And that was the great Neil Peart, the professor. With that being said, thank you, everybody. Thank you, BWOMS. Y'all makes Mondays great. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, Kit. And I just, if you wanted to see any more of my stuff, I posted a lot of the stuff on Ed K. Gonzalez Jedi. And remember to take time for yourself every day, even if it's just a few cleansing breaths. Self-care. You are valued. Peace and love.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Ed. And you're correct, astute and gentle listener. That was not Richie's voice you heard. Richie has a bit of a live animal emergency. His cat Rocket brought in a live bird, so he has to deal with an aviary situation at his house right now. But that's okay. We got contingencies. We have ways of making the show keep going. We're pretty clever in this way. So yeah, I'm Kit Wren. I host this quite often, and I'll be your temporary host until things get settled over there. But we have a lot of great poetry still to come, and we're going to stick around in El Paso for our next performer, who has been in such august publications as the Paris Review, I never get tired of saying that. But also has something forthcoming in the Rio Grande review, I believe. So, you know, all over the place. But based here in El Paso, everyone please welcome Robin Schofield to the stage. Robin, when you're ready.
Thank you, Kit. Thank you, everybody. Happy Monday. When my outside cats catch a bird, they eat it. They don't bring it to the back porch. They don't make a gift of it. They eat the things. The grackle parents were very upset because they snatched the baby grackles out of their nests. Maybe the grackles will move away now. I hope so. So I have some poems about kind of about Memorial Day. This one is called Woman's Work. I can't launder the uproars of his history. In Vietnam, he walked through swamps and caught a fungus on his feet. He survived the Tet Offensive, his shoes never comfortable again. When the Civil War starts on April 12th, 1861, at 4:30 a.m., he thinks he's there in tattered uniform, Union soldier afraid he might have to aim at a Confederate brother busted back to private while he makes major in those dirty clothes. I couldn't bear to try treachery or silence. I sewed him a shirt of swan feathers, all the ordinary stuff a woman does, while he stalks off to his private wars. When he comes back smelly, I point him toward the sink and the soap. He washes his hands, the hands he can't get clean enough. And it's also Mental Health Month. So this is about a guy who fought a different kind of war. His name was Edward Einstein, and he had a famous father. Relativity. Two clocks on different floors wring their hands, grinding down the little pawns of particles, too close to the sun, falling past falling. His spooky entanglements and electroshock therapy make him move past pianos he might have played. He floats toward his room as if there's no gravity. And poor Edward Einstein was diagnosed with schizophrenia at 22. That's what happened to him. He was institutionalized until he was 55 when he died at 55, yeah. So one thing war does to people, pretty much all people who go and see combat, is they get PTSD. And Siegfried Sassoon fought for England. Yeah, he had this German name, but he fought for England in World War I, which was a particularly nasty war. And he probably had maybe bipolar disorder or something like it, and PTSD after the war. Siegfried Sassoon in the Great War. Mad Jack, your men called you, but not for grabbing 2 hours of peace at Mametz Wood. 60 German soldiers you cleared out with a bag full of bombs. Then read Virgil's Georgics down in their empty trench. You realize you delayed the battle. Colonel Stockwell chewed you out. I'd have got you a DSO if you'd shown more sense. What did you do? Just grin and say, yes, sir? You couldn't find that peace again so easily, for you earned your nickname, dragging the wounded out of battle on the Western Front. For that, they hung around your neck the military cross, which you later threw into the Mersey. When you signed up, as a feverish patriot and author of pastoral poetry. They put you in the mud and wire, the officer who often took the night patrol. 3 years later, after your soldier's declaration, you, shell-shocked, were charged with treason, and only Robert Graves and a diagnosis of neurasthenia saved you from court-martial. You lived to write the poems that harbored no truth unfitting about trench warfare. A young captain, old, still a cricket player, you never gave up your reckless driving. And I want to read a poem about, well, it's by a young poet named Isaac Rosenberg. And he's one of the guys we lost in World War One. Again, the first war with a lot of automatic weapons, with the trenches, the barbed wire, the mud. And we lost a great poet in Isaac Rosenberg. This one is called Break of Day in the Trenches, and it's about as raw as you get. The darkness grumbles away. It is the same old druid time as ever. Only a live thing leaps my hand, a queer sardonic rat, as I pull the parapet's poppy to stick behind my ear. Droll rat, they would shoot you if they knew your cosmopolitan sympathies. Now you have touched this English hand. You will do the same to a German soon, no doubt, if it be your pleasure to cross the sleeping green between. It seems you inwardly grin as you pass, strong eyes, fine limbs, haughty athletes, less chance than you for life. Bonds to the whims of murder, sprawled in the bowels of the earth, the torn fields of France. What do you see in our eyes at the shrieking iron and flame hurled through still heavens? What quaver, what heart aghast? Poppies whose roots are in man's veins drop and are ever dropping, but mine in my ear is safe, just a little white with the dust. Isaac Rosenberg, everybody. Have a somber Memorial Day. Back to you, Kit, or Richie, whoever it is.
Awesome. Yeah. No, thank you, Robin. Thanks,
Okay,
Kid,
there you go,
for
Richie.
for filling in really quick. Had a little emergency there. I don't even know if you mentioned it at all, but cats. I don't know. I apparently like to hunt in the rain. So, yeah, it's raining outside. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, let's keep this thing going. You got to catch him right now as a emergency host in my absence. But here to share some poetry is Kit. So, Kit, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Thank you again. I'm gonna run back outside really quick.
All right, thank you, Richie. And yes, I did mention, because it was quite funny to me. And I got to use the phrase aviary emergency. Live entertainment. There's nothing like it. So I'm going to do two of mine and then two covers. But the first one, to just sort of, build on David's a bit, I have a little poem I like to call a Transmask Commencement Address. I want all the trans men growing their first wispy, irregular beards to know that I am proud of them. You had a very specific dream and fought against all social currents to both be and become yourself. And soon this will be just another thing to keep clean. A ruler-ready measure of sloth. But in the same way that unathletic eye can tell what a coach said wrong by the way his sophomore safety backpedals, I suspect that you know more than I do about this masculinity racket. Right, and second one. I thank God for the prose poem. I thank God for a backdoor into the heritage of poetry. The prose poem is a scholarship program for the musically indifferent, the rhythmically challenged, the formally indolent. I am equally thankful for its identical cousin flash fiction. I switch which one I mean based on who I'm talking to. Glad-handing like a city councilman. I don't have to babysit characters to their end like a harried novelist. I owe them nothing. I introduce them and move on, like the host of a huge party. I forage without taking a plate. I rhyme only when I feel like it. I drink and the wine becomes blood in my stomach. I trip and the trip becomes a metaphor. I accidentally cut my palm and the bandage thanks me for my honesty and vulnerability. Everyone in the ballroom is dancing with a different scrap of clothing that they all take to be me. They can't all be right, but they're dancing. Nobody can fact check a dancer. And let's see. And so 2 covers. The first one will be by Yehuda Amichai. This is Memorial Day for the War Dead. Memorial Day for the War Dead. Add now the grief of all your losses to their grief, even of a woman that has left you. Mix sorrow with sorrow like time-saving history, which stacks holiday and sacrifice and mourning on one day for easy, convenient memory. Oh, sweet world soaked like bread in sweet milk for the terrible toothless God. Behind all this, some great happiness is hiding. No use to weep inside and to scream outside. Behind all this, perhaps, some great happiness is hiding. Memorial Day. Bitter salt is dressed up as a little girl with flowers. The streets are cordoned off with ropes for the marching together of the living and the dead. Children with the grief not their own march slowly, like stepping over broken glass. The flautist's mouth will stay like that for many days. A dead soldier swims above little heads and with the swimming movements of the dead, with the ancient error the dead have about the place of the living water. A flag loses contact with reality and flies off. A shop window is decorated with dresses of beautiful women in blue and white, and everything in 3 languages. Hebrew, Arabic, and death. A great and royal animal was dying all through the night under the jasmine tree with a constant stare at the world. A man whose son died in the war walks in the street like a woman with a dead embryo in her womb. Behind all this, some great happiness is hiding. And second cover I want to do, stealing a little from the Michael Sindler playbook, please forgive me, but sometimes he likes to recite lyrics to songs, and I'm going to do that too. From the Drive-By Truckers, fitting for the day. Once again, this is Decoration Day by the Drive-By Truckers. It's Decoration Day, and I've a mind to roll a stone on his grave. But what would he say? Keeping me down, boy, won't keep me away. It's Decoration Day. And I knew the Hill Boys would put him away, but my daddy wasn't afraid. He said we'd fight till the last Lawson's last living day. I never knew how it all got started, a problem with Holland before we were born. And I don't know the name of the boy we tied down and beat till he just couldn't walk anymore. But I know the caliber in Daddy's chest. I know what Holland Hill drives. The state let him go, but I guess it was best, 'cause nobody needs all his Lawsons alive. Daddy said one of the boys had come by, the lumberman's favorite son. He said, beat him real good, but don't dare let him die, and if you see Holland Hill, run. Well, I said they ain't give us trouble before that we ain't brought down on ourselves. but a chain on my back and my ear to the floor, and I'll send all the hill boys to hell. I'll send all the hill boys to hell. It's Decoration Day. And I got a family in Mobile Bay, and they've never seen my daddy's grave. But that don't bother me. It ain't marked anyway. 'Cause I got dead brothers in Lauderdale South, and I got dead brothers in East Tennessee. My daddy got shot right in front of his house. He had no one to fall on but me. It's Decoration Day. And I've got a mind to go spit on his grave. If I was a hill, I'd have put him away. And I'd fight to the last Lawson's last living day. I'd fight to the last Lawson's last living day. I'd fight to the last Lawson's last living day. Okay, so, tumble words this Saturday. Those in the know. Ooh, I got my tote bag right here. I can just hold it up. Yes, those in the know all about tumble words. Writing workshop that we do Saturday afternoons. And David Lateef, they will be leading the service with something about posings. Real excited for that one. Real excited to learn more about that little craft that they spent most of their April putting together. So let's see. Looks like Richie's still dealing with the feathers and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna have to man the deck for a little bit longer. But we're going to our next guest, who is ranked 3rd in the world for performance poetry. I didn't know people kept track of that, but he's a 2025 National Slam Master Champion for the virtual slam team, the Outlaw Collective, and also helps out our friend Finn Bell at Poetry Global Networks, hosting the Bottoms Up open mic. Been a while since he's been here, but we're glad to have him back. So everyone, welcome CP Mays to the stage. CP, when you're ready.
Hello, world. It's good to be back, Kit. A poem that's about to come out, I think at the end of this month, that's getting published in the 100-year anniversary, Ginsberg 100-year anniversary, birthday anniversary, Beat Generation. So it made it into the anthology. This is the poem. It's called I'm a Titan's Loose Tooth. I'm a Titan's loose tooth underneath the toddler's pillow. There's a fist full of breeze, a bent knuckle clutching burning trees, and so much drugs on this table that if you can't get hallelujah high, then God doesn't exist. Never mind, my girlfriend has an open door above her wrist. Never mind, my homeboy has a 6-figure job. Never mind, our homegirl is a cutter whose cutting board is in between her toes. When the lights finally go down and never come back on again, will you remember that we were forever wildflowers? Wishing well warrants cardiac arrest and Christ-given creative licenses to kill. A windpipe bomb I am. But this morning I woke up and felt like a scratched off serial number on a dirty pistol used to kill time. Felt like a wisdom tooth riot in the doctor's office. Felt like I feel like sometimes I feel too much. I know it feels like hell here, kind sir. You can tell by how my kerosene shadow karma smile still smells like gasoline speech with a slight hint of heaven. I need an Uber right goddamn now. I wrote and wrote a metaphor out of hell this morning, knowing damn well I could always be edited back before supper time. A retired ashtray angel I am, with windshield wipers that don't work. I am having to hand wipe these tears from my glasses I am. Kit, you can save all of the Amsterdam, all of the Belvedere, all of the Sriracha, all of the vodka for the men as manly as mountains, and loosely luscious ladies as sexy as Taha Venus stockings, but I'm a bourbon beautiful whiskey boy. Jack Daniels and ginger got me through the rough times. Jack Daniels and ginger with a Jack Daniels chaser got me through the rougher times. Kinfolk, if I tell you I found my divorce lawyer in the basement of a bottle, best believe I'm being as honest as every very heavy human heartfelt insecurity we cleverly hide from one another's other. This ain't so much about halo hangovers as it is about getting life drunk off your dreams while blowing beautiful into a breathalyzer, beating passion at being passed out drunk. The answers to all of my prayers didn't come by way of the God stunting or fucking flexing for human bragging rights. Drunk off dreams. My liver's what a gladiator does in its off time. Marine Corps, the backyard in the back of my throat smells of fresh cut grass, empty beer cans, and bourbon. I'm a get along lady, just run on sentence to all of these crazy ass convictions we were supposed to try. Supposed to either find the map or torch it burning book style in the silent God's name. Have you ever woke up on the wrong side of your future and realized your snooze button's a corporate shirt and a Walmart tie? I'm sorry, Mr. Officer. I didn't know I was speeding to life. Didn't know the stop sign was a car accident smile. Love. Didn't know you were waiting for me to pump the brakes. Didn't know I was addicted to ending my own life. Junkies and G-strings, princess cut diamond cuties who stay stoned. I don't know anything, but I prefer my passion straight up, with no panties on as a chaser. I prefer my insecurities that don't spend so much time in me when I'm not sober. I prefer women who propel insecurities over projecting them. I prefer not convincing myself I can find happiness when no one's looking. Y'all, I've never been the type to run away from a bar tab or any sexy good lady mayday of a soothsay barbed wire. Oh, by the way, I'm at my most vulnerable when I'm fully clothed in front of a mouth for a mirror. There's round by 24 or so of us, y'all, this room, who break bread with Babylon in the name of art over everything. I don't expect you to understand us. But if anything, you're gonna fucking respect us, our art, and how we love like loose leaf pages that only God could edit. I'm a Titan's loose tooth underneath the toddler's pillow. Poem. Thank y'all.
All right. With the confidence of a man with no shared walls in his apartment.
I'm in my office, yeah.
All right. Is there anything on your calendar you want to plug? Any events you got coming up?
Oh yeah. This Sunday we're releasing an anthology. Poetry Global Network's releasing an anthology, Trump as a syndrome, and everybody submitted poems and stuff as if Trump was a syndrome. That's released this Sunday, poetryglobalnetwork.com, and I'm taking our virtual team that reps Zoomverse poets and Instagram poets to the festival, the biggest festival in the States, in 2 weeks, I think, called Southern Fried. So wish us luck. We're doing the virtual world in the real room, so thank you.
Right on. Bringing the digital
on.
streets to Meat Space. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Thank you very
Why
much,
not?
CP.
No problem. Thank y'all.
All right, and so for our next performer, someone who's no stranger to us, although she's not usually here on Monday nights, but she's all around to sing. Up in Pittsburgh, PA, we got a great poet, once and hopefully future host of Tumbleworks, and also has her own website set up. But everyone, please welcome Shocky G to our stage. Shocky, when you're ready.
Thank you. Thanks for putting me after CP. Not like I had confidence issues prior.
Steel sharpens steel.
um, I guess I'll do two pieces. There's no theme, right? I could do. It's not. It doesn't have to be Memorial Day.
Doesn't have to be anything.
Okay. So first I'll give a trigger warning for transphobic. I'm not transphobic, but the poem you'll understand. Okay. Casket sharp. It's the way us black folk describe the ornate dress of homegoing. We display our deceased in their Sunday's best. When a popular trans woman dies, her father says, "No, I will not send my son to God like that." Dressed in pink at the pearly gates, says he deserves to see his little boy one last time. Is it still a dead name if it Lazaruses itself on the tongues of those still living? And I get it. The funeral is for the family. But y'all, hear my plea. When I die, please don't let my family turn my casket conversion therapy. Strip me of my identity to bury me in their expectations. They've been ready to throw dirt on my grave the same way they do my name. So when my family says they want to send me to glory dressed in glitter, tell them nah. I prefer you send me naked. Let God see the bruises left from the branches of your bigotry, where you let me pick my own switch, but not my own gender. My uncles say I'm selfish. They say they deserve to see the little girl they remember one last time. I say, we threw that funeral long ago. You should have been there. It was beautiful. But everyday sense is a gender reveal party, and you are not the guest of honor. My funeral is not invitation for you to invoke your will upon my body. I spent too much time in closets not to fashion myself stylish. And I get it. You wish I'd learned to hang myself instead. My mother would say, a little girl should always have a little black dress. So I bought a three-piece suit, pinstripe, so you could read between the lines of my non-binary fuck you femme fatale. This be my will and testament. My mother would joke that I was the son she never had. Now imagine you send me in a dress to meet my mama and she think me unfamiliar. Lose all my autonomy in the autopsy and replaced it with your audacity. Imagine fighting to bury a memory harder than you fought to keep me alive so you could keep your goodbye. It sounds a lot like good riddance, like shredding me so that you wish I risked in pieces. What I'm saying is when I die, I just want you to miss me with the bullshit. Um, Second piece. Sorry, I'm trying to think. All right. They say when you visit haunted places, the spirits will follow you home. I've been traveling this country wishing I could free them. America, this ground desecrated by white supremacy. Black bodies shackled to memory in the attics of our mind. Do the dead still suffer against the whips of their masters? Do we all end up in the same hell? Whose heaven is it when colonizers and slave owners claim all the land they can, both genocide and gentrify? Maybe they found out Jesus was a black man, enslaved him too. It makes sense, all this hell on earth, leaving black bodies to haunt the hallways they were meant to escape. Maybe there ain't no Harriet to the afterlife. No Nat Turner's rebelling. It's why their version of heaven sounds like a gated community draped in white, where they traded St. Peter for Zimmerman. I've heard the houses hold the horrors. We're playing them on a loop. And just yesterday, I saw a plantation burn, and I wanted to roast marshmallows. Sit by it like a fire pit to warm my soul, pour libations into the ground as if it would wash the blood away. But why the celebration? They will just build a memorial amongst the ash, make no mention of the dead, make villain of the fire and victim of the property value. Build their heaven atop black and brown bodies, smell of decay lingering long after we die. So when I die, send me to hell. I got a pocket full of souls and a rifle, a new age, not so grim reaper. Make them reap all that they've sown, all this fire and brimstone, simmering like this rage passed down through blood and bone. I beg y'all, fight back. All guillotine and grenade before they trap you here. Cause me, I'm gonna get me some free. Yeah, I'm gonna get me some free. Thank you.
Awesome stuff, Shocky. Is there I know you got something big coming down the pike, so is there anything you want to promote in this space real quick?
Oh, you know, I always got something big coming down the pipe. So this Friday, actually, I am doing a book release on Zoom. And I have a lot of my friend poets performing as well. It is on Zoom. Tickets are $10. I am using the proceeds to help me get to Southern Fried, where I will be competing with CP Maze's team. I'm really excited about that. So, if you want to pre-order either of my books at the book release, I'm actually doing a poetry book and a horror novel. This is the first novel I've written, so I'm really excited about it. And I don't know if it's really scary, but it is considered a horror novel to me. So anything that you want to do, or you can even donate on the website, shockygpoetry.com. I would appreciate it. And yeah, thank you to everyone who shared today. It was amazing.
All right. Well, thanks for being part of the amazing train. And yeah, it's a big event with some other friends of the show on May 29th. Is that a Friday? Yeah, that's a Friday. So that'll be fun. All right. So now we're going from Pittsburgh down to Louisiana, where the alligators grow so mean, and talk with our next poet, Sam Hardy. Sam, glad you could make it. When you're ready, take it away.
Hey, yeah, thanks. Sorry I was late. Hope everybody's doing good. I have two poems that I've written recently. The first one is called From. I'm from Southern Charm, cowboy hat, school prayer, kicker boots, Dairy Queen, Astros games, old wells on dusty roads, taco stands saying yes ma'am, rodeo season, Sears and Roebuck, Tex-Mex, Baptist churches, NASA being relevant. You ask where I'm from, but that's easy to describe. But ask me who I am, and the job becomes more complex. I am welfare and food stamps, 30-minute school bus rides. Children seen, not heard. Who shot the president? Watching Watergate on TV, free school lunches, NASA space launch, ratify the ERA, Woodstock, hippie culture, gay bars after 1 a.m., proud to be, Holly Near music, Montrose Boulevard, trans rights, Me Too, March on Washington, poems written at 3 a.m., baklava at sidewalk cafes, open mics on Zoom, answering 4 a.m. hotline calls, a childhood assault survivor, love over hate, blue over red, never quit, never stay silent again. And then the next one is called Road Trip. And I just wrote this, so I've never read it before. Road Trip. We drove for hours without speaking. The GPS kept saying recalculating, like it knew something about us. Dashboard lights, gas stations at 2 a.m., passing unknown towns. You singing softly to songs, half lost in static, your fingers tapping time against the passenger door. Later, you slept with your head against the window, your breathing soft beneath the hum of tires, the highway stretching out like something unfinished. Every mile put distance between me and the version of myself I didn't want to be anymore. You always said I could be anything. But at 4 a.m., on this long, dark road, all I really wanted to be was with you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sam. And any quick plugs, promotions as well before we move along?
I'll put links in the chat to all relative things. Thanks.
All right, perfect. As always, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the pieces. And we'll make sure to forward those to the YouTube chat. If you're just tuning in, this is our online mic. We have a few more poets today, and we're going to go ahead and go to Washington, D.C. for our next performer. He's got some jokes and some poems. If you know him, you know him. It's time for Mr. Ed, Poetastic. Ed, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, my brother, with words like thunder that burns is right under. Woo! That makes our nights more sunnier. Hello, my name is Ed Poetastic, been a fantastic. Please, time to control my rhyme. 5 posts sublime. Got 16 memorial jokes and 3 poems, so it take too much time. Are you ready, kid?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. First joke. Why does the baseball team always host the barbecue?
Well, that's awfully friendly of them. But why does the baseball team always host the barbecue?
They know how to grill it out of the park.
Ah, good.
Why does Dad always bring a ladder to the barbecue?
A ladder to the barbecue? Why does Dad always bring a ladder to the barbecue?
The stakes are too high.
Oh no.
Why does hot dogs and hamburgers argue?
Oh. I don't know. Why do hot dogs and hamburgers always argue?
They got beef.
You think you know what beef is?
Why doesn't the sun go to school?
I don't know. Why doesn't the sun go to school?
He doesn't need to get brighter.
It should always be working on improving itself. It's a short-sighted sun.
What did the ocean say to the beach?
Oh, I don't know. What did the ocean say to the beach?
Nothing. It just waved. Why do cheeseburgers still go to therapy?
I don't know. Why do cheeseburgers still go to therapy?
They have too many layers.
Oh.
Why did the ketchup blush?
I mean, how can you tell? Why did the ketchup blush?
It saw the salad dressing.
Oh dear. Escándalo.
Why did the hot dog stay so long at the barbecue?
I don't know. Why did the hot dog stay for so long at the barbecue?
It wanted to relish the good times.
Isn't that nice?
What does Dad say if someone doesn't laugh at his barbecue jokes?
I don't know. What does Dad say when someone doesn't laugh at his barbecue jokes?
Guess they were a little too well done.
Oh. We're all sick of your shit, Dad.
Why did the burger stop telling barbecue jokes?
Oh. I don't know. Why did the burger stop telling barbecue jokes?
They were getting too cheesy.
That'll happen.
What do you call a Soldier who loves dessert.
I don't know. What do you call a soldier that
A
loves dessert?
pilot.
A pilot. Boy.
What do you call a barbecue for veterans?
Oh, what do you call a barbecue for veterans?
Grill of duty.
Come on now.
How do fireworks stay in shape?
I don't know. How do fireworks stay in shape?
They do pop-ups.
Goodness.
Why did the watermelon join the parade?
Oh, well, that's... I'm sure it just got into the spirit of things. But why did the watermelon join the parade?
It wanted to be a millionaire.
Oh, you're killing me, man.
Oh, I got one more joke. Why was the picnic blanket famous?
Oh. These things happen fast in the internet age. Why was the picnic blanket famous?
It had a spread reputation.
All right.
Spread.
That'll do it. All right.
Oh, thank you, Kit. You're always a smashing hit every time you spit. Thank you so very much.
Yes, sir.
Got 3 jokes. Oh, thank you. Got 3 jokes. I mean, sorry, 3 poems. Oh my gosh. Thank goodness it's a holiday. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. This is called Nestle Doll. Oh, Barbie, you love to party. You leave my heart hearty. You pop into my life. You are my daily delight. The wax cover your face. You had a unique grace. You had wonderful nails. You put me under your spell. You had a great figure. Your perfume sting lingers. You had vivid dresses. You made plenty of messes. You had excellent makeup. You were the belle of the club. You had polished skin. Your features had no end. You had cute shoes. You adore your views. You had nylon hair. You never ever share. I was just happy you're mine, but you had a plastic mind. You wanted more and more. You wanted the toy store. After I felt like Pinocchio, my humanity explodes. My doll is never coming back. My life won't be pitch black. Don't judge a book by its cover. Every cloud has its thunder. I gave her labels after labels. Yes, I'm under the table. Love isn't about take. Where is your slice of cake? Love is a big, beautiful cycle. It's part of everyone's survival. Love isn't a one-way street. Love isn't a road of deceit. Love is a majestic ship. That's why it's called a relationship. What happens if you're single? Get lost in life's universal jingle. You are the pinnacle of your happiness. In every darkness, there is still bliss. Thank you. The other one is called Clad and Clutter. We're all turtles, growing through hurdles, carrying our boulders, getting a bit colder, going through our pace, no time to waste, carrying your insecurities, why carry theories, carrying your regrets, why carry threats, you're carrying your sadness, why carry numbness, carrying your shame, why carry the blame, carry your responsibilities, why carry insensitivities, carry your anger, why carry an anchor, carry your mistakes, why carry headaches, carry your sins, why carry linchpins, carry your past, why carry whiplash, carry your expectations, why carry isolations. Don't carry too much, easy on the clutch. Get out of your shell. Is it ringing any bells? It's not a part of you. You know what to do. I know it weighs a ton. Toss it and enjoy the sun. It's your burden to bear. It's not a burden if you share. I can't because I'm shy. Have to really ask why. Don't stay closed or hidden. Your stories hasn't reached an end. You're not just a turtle, but somebody. You're still the life of the party. Please drop it and just reach out. Believe this is what life is all about. Thank you. And my final piece is called Prudis Podcast. The light slowly creeps, alarm clocks beep. Hope everyone slept well. Hope your minds are a bell. Welcome to the Daylight Express. We have a special guest. Can I completely confess? Just got a nod for yes. You look nice. Wait, you improvise. I just realized we are televised. Could I ask you some questions? How do you get to this destination? No, you don't talk about you. What am I going to do? Can I ask can I ask about your work? No, you don't want to hurt. Can I ask about your childhood? No, you don't want to be misunderstood. Can I ask about your creativity? No, you aren't from this reality. Can I ask about your favorite food? No, I'm not coming across as rude. Can I ask about your parents? No, you don't want to be seen as defiant. Can I ask how was your day? No, but what more can I say? You're wasting my precious time. I didn't know questions were a crime. We planned and talked about this. Yes, I reread your complex list. I know I say this and do that. I don't have it under my hat. Can I ask you a question for once? Why do you act like a dunce? My fans want to know about you. What's your definition of a breakthrough? You could pretend to be a star, but it's not going to take you far. You could pretend to be a different being, but your ego will break the ceiling. You could pretend to be important, but you're coming across as arrogant. Can you stop being one dimensional? Be less mechanical, but more emotional. Please be in the present here and now. Make us say, no way, how, and wow. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ed, as always, for bringing the vibes. How can the fine people follow and support your work online?
Well, you can follow me and support me when I work online. Welcome to this wonderful Zumba mic that makes our Monday nights to the light in the wonderful protesting spotlight. All right. But you want to follow me? If you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is 84 man. But I'll be there because I have poetry to spare. Thank you for being over here and over there. But never forget that you are more important than you ever know. Don't stop your glow and never stop your flow. If you don't know, now you know. I love this show. And remember, life is not a contest. So please keep doing your best.
Beautiful, wonderful words as always. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. That's Ed Poetastic. And next up, we have, I believe, a debut in this space at least, but I think unfamiliar familiar to some peeps in here. We have Jackson Riley joining us from Orange County out in California. So, Jackson, welcome to the space. When you're ready, go ahead and share your pieces. Welcome.
Over Mario Kart and cigarettes, we traded foxhole resolutions. 3 months, 2 relapses, and one 4 a.m. FaceTime later, you painted those Holiday Inn sheets, reeking of acetone and Everclear, while I lay in my childhood bed, while my folks lay fast asleep, while your blood refused to clot, while I was too smoked out to talk to the police, while the call dropped, while even the man in the goddamn box couldn't find you. My speed dial has one number fewer now. I still play Mario Kart. The first time I spied Jane from the other side of the phone screen. Bathsheba bathed in blue light. Before her, I had pined on deliverance, penned limericks on limerence, waxing like vinyl, wine drunk on clitoris. Praying I still got it, in psalm and in sonnet, I shot first, pacing till the moment she responded. Another proper artist, perfect pitch mezzo-soprano. I tried my best to hide it, enamored at first ballad. On the second ring, I'd answer, kicking my feet like riding a bike, a giddy tyke with froggy boots and strawberry Nesquik. We planned a meet, a third floor suite complete with single serve lotion and an ocean view. Single dimpled, she arrived, off a rose-tinted red-eye. The drive, I was bashful. We harmonized to blonde. We fucked like it was our first time. And our climax came my doubt, our compatibility, my feelings, her aptitude. Her breath still on my tongue, I bade her, do not wait for me. Cotton candy tears, demands, I name whatever changed in me. Embarrassed, I lied. I couldn't trust my own conviction. So I contrived a happy fiction. I scapegoated my addiction. For months on and off, I flickered my disposition. I gagged and choked her heart into uncomfortable submissions. A full surrender to a higher power named ERP, EMDR, in search for lean, and I realized how I really felt. And how I fell. By then, she was with others. Still, of course, we started dating. Exclusively. Bound by fate and chemistry and single-sided scotch tape. 2,200 miles away. And back and forth and back and forth. Her past men, her past women, my obsessions, had questions, had answers, had questions, compulsions resurfaced. She'd ride my lips. We'd reminisce. I'd hit her IUD strings, we'd kiss, we'd weep. Lonely little white lies to hide my desire for white wine. I'd wake up and I'd make up in a half-assed kind of way. More Ferrero Rocher and rosé scented candles. For your heartbreak. I'd like to believe it was getting better. But maybe that's denial. I wish I could say something. But I don't want to feel this. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next week. Maybe October. I'll bounce back. And it was a privilege to love her. It was my privilege to be loved by her. Cinco de Mayo. It's a holiday, so Michael drives. I'm still sober, just burned out, maybe. Freud would say everyone feels like this in some capacity. Behind the ids, egos, and mommy's good boy fantasies, every man is an assassin. If I did it again, I'd have showered, or brushed my teeth, or at least worn shoes without laces. On the intake, I catch my weight, and it guts me in the place where my stomach used to be. Is your blood pressure always this high? No, ma'am. I don't think so. No, not usually, but I bottled my adolescence and through my 20s drank abusively. I'll have 60 days tomorrow, and of that I'm proud, truly, but the love of my life and I just turned off share location mutually. I had 13 months. and I relapsed. It was my fault, and that's it truthfully. I'm in sternum-crushing debt, and mutual funds can't seem to suture the God I left behind in love, in drugs, in sex, in food, and that's the rub. 40 pounds over the holidays. This waistline doesn't suit me. Hun, I'm just the nurse. But babe, you're barely 26. I know you didn't ask, but if you'd care for my 2 cents, you look too tired for your age. I see wrinkles on your face. I know that for you artists, dying young is all the rage, but you really think the world's a better place without Cobain? I saw him live at Reading, the way he spasmed on the stage. Heels to the nosebleeds, where I met my husband Gage. The way I fucked that boy you'd swore peyote must be laced. And I had just turned 34. And that's the point I'm trying to make. You're not dumb. You seem fun, and you've a talent for the page. You've loved, and you've lost, and you're loved beyond the stage. I know it seems impossible to take it in the day, but that's all that we can do. Let me try your other vein. Thank you.
Awesome pieces. Thanks for sharing those. I know you shared your Instagram with us when you signed up, but do you want to, like, for people who are watching online and everything, and maybe seeing you for the first time so they can support your work?
Yeah. On Instagram, I am at the real Jackson Riley, and then I'm also part of the Outlaw Squad with CP Mays and Shocky, who both performed tonight.
Perfect. Yeah, what a treat to have the three of you come in tonight and spit a little of your magic. We're here every Monday, so if you guys need to practice a little something, try something new, or just hang out a little bit more online. Another corner of the internet. Appreciate it to Jackson, keeping it real, of course. And yes, thanks again to CP Mays and Shocky as well for jumping in as well this week. It's a pleasure. I know it's been a while since I've seen some of you guys, so yeah, good things. We have, it looks like, one more reader. Hold on, let me just double check the list one more time, make sure Doc didn't make it after all. Okay. Yeah, so if you guys are watching on YouTube, thanks for tuning in as well. As always, just say hello in the chat. It's nice to know who's here. Or if you're watching later during the week, I mentioned that a lot of people like to tell me that they tune in later in the week when they have some free time. If you're here, say hello in the comments. Any kind of engagement always helps push this out to more people, and that's ultimately the goal, right? But we have one last performer, our closer. We have Dan, the man, up here to close the night. So Dan, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Well, they are gone, but they are gone. They will never be forgotten. To this memorial, and looks like we're only seeing as a mural, and the only thing is just use a floral to honor a memorial. This is like we honor the veterans, we honor the heroes, because yeah, we remember those. Remembering those who sacrificed, remembering those who served their country very well, remember those who served in the United States, who served our country very well. We should say, is it Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. It's kind of a military, kind of an actual military, but they're honorary, or sometimes if it's still living, or they're in the cemetery. Well, it is customary how we use to honor those that are heroes. They're the primary. Well, it's nothing commentary, but only to use dignitary to well, nothing like any fragmentary, but it was just solitary. Even though there are no imagination, but only the obituary. Yep, they're only like the revolutionary. of the vocabulary. Seems like remembrance is definitely necessary. And even though all I need is a momentary silence, a momentary. So we need like solitary, kind of like a solitude, but positive attitude. Yeah. Well, we want to say we thank them for their service. And we remembering the heroes. Yep. Like my dad, God rest his soul. A couple of others. Yep. And those who passed away, who did serve their arm, a couple of them were friends of mine. And just 2 months ago, a friend of mine lost her husband. He was in the Air Force. God rest his soul. Always my condolences to my friend and the children. Yeah. Children's gonna go through a tough one, but may not be a rough one because I grew up. Well, only as an honorary one, but not even a rough one. But it's kind of a tough one, though. Okay, well. For those remembering the heroes, happy Memorial Day. Always on the last day, or the 5th day, or the 4th day of the Monday. So, happy Memorial Day on the last day of Monday in the 5th month, the last week, or of the 5th month. All right. Okay. Always the Memorial Day in light, the soldiers in spirit and sight. Okay, Richie, let's go ahead and call off this stormy night.
I don't know if I can call off the storm, Dan, but we can at least start wrapping up our open mic. Appreciate it, Dan. Thanks for your words there. Again, shout out to everyone who read today. We're here every Monday online. Look for the sign up sheet on our social media, on our link tree. Check it out, Linktree, El Paso BWOMS. Which you pretty much find on all of our social media. We have a calendar of events. And again, if you are in the El Paso region, join us Tuesday night at Mono Bar. We will be downtown San Antonio Street. Sign up starts at 8. Show starts after 9. Wednesday, we will be at Proof and Press for our writers night. So if you are a writer, come on through. Writing workshop at 7 or after 7, and then a writer's open mic after 9. And then Thursday, we'll be at Old Sheepdog Brewery, hosted by Kit Wren for our open mic. That's going to be sign up at 7, show at 8. We have a couple more. We may have one more surprise event at the end of May. I'm just kind of waiting for a confirmation. But just, June and July, summer, we'll have lots of stuff going on as well. Check out our calendar. Otherwise, if you follow us on social media, we do post other events. If you guys are looking for more online things going on, Mike Sindler does have his Friday night salon open mic, and that's going to be 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time every week. You can find that more info on ipublishnews.com. And that's
It's
with an
I publish
EYE.
you, but spelled the most obscure way possible.
I publish you, yeah, no, but it's I like EYE, and then you is EWE.
Like,
You. That's right. I publish you. Speaking of that, I need to get my eyes checked because that's a
Dane
tiny
Ince, folks. Dane Ince.
part of the screen. Yeah, with Dane and Sarah. Yeah, there it is. But yes, hope you guys have a great week. My name is Rich for the Barbed Open Mic series, and we'll see you online next